The declination here is only 1 degree. I don't have to account for that. So if you're in an area where you say the declination is, 10 degrees, that's something you'll definitely want to factor in. Have to factor in to get to where you want to go. Alright, I've folded my map down to a reasonable size, something I can carry and keep in my hand. I'll be referencing this from now until I get to the point where I need to be. You see somebody truly navigating, you'll see that they always have their compass in hand and their map in hand. I got my compass around my neck for easy access. Anything metallic or magnetic you want to keep the compass away from, so it could give you false readings. Alright, now for the practical skill application. I'm not going to walk 80 miles or anything like that. I'm just going to do a short jaunt to get you guys squared away, ready to go, and give you an idea of how to do this. Alright, so I lucked out on my creek crossing. It's dry, so that's a good thing. See, one of the sucky things about going cross country in the summertime or even late fall like this, all the underbrush is still tall and really sucks to get through. Alright, I've come to a second smaller creek crossing, and if you're paying attention to your map, which you should be, then you want to take a look at your map and see if that jives with where you're supposed to be at. And on the map, I'm sure you can't see it, but after my first creek crossing, I have a second creek crossing. It comes right before the hill. So we're good to go. Why is it always summer when I do this crap? And I'm trying to be quiet because I can see the church right up ahead, and there's people up there, and I don't really want to disturb them. I don't want to come out of the woods with my pack on and my axe and have them freak out. I'll try to get a little closer, show you I'm actually there. Okay, there's the backside of the church. No need to navigate off to one side because the steeple's tall enough I could see it from a little ways out, so I could walk right to it. The thing to remember is, though, that you're not always going to have a big tall steeple sticking up in the air to navigate to, so that's why intentionally aiming off to one side is a good practice, if it's like I explained in the first part of the series. Alright, here's a good example of how difficult terrain association can be without prominent features. Alright, first thing we need to do is orient the map. Make sure your compass is flat so it'll do it correctly. I'm going to move this camera back for a second and make sure that it's not messing with the compass. And this is why it's important to always have a good idea of kind of where you are, a general location. Because if you don't, terrain association is you're gonna have to have very prominent, very recognizable features that correspond to the map for you to figure out where you are, because a lot of these features look the same, and I'll show you here what I mean. So in front of me I see a hill, good sized hill to my right, and then there's a good sized hill to my left. I'm in the valley between those two hills. Okay, so first of all, I want to look on the map in the general area that I think I am, which I think I'm right in this area right here. And that corresponds pretty closely to what I see in front of me. Here's a hilltop. There's another hilltop right in here. I'm in this river bottom. Looks like a river bottom. It's actually a creek bottom. So I'm going to shoot a rough azimuth off the peaks of those two hills and kind of try and figure out roughly where I am. Okay, the heading to the hill on my left, to the peak of that hill, is 30 degrees. And here's the deal: I don't know exactly where I am in this area, so I don't know which part of the peaks to shoot off of on this right side. Okay, I got to look at the draws. I got to look at the hillsides. This is a pretty steep cliff right here, but it's too far away. I can't really tell that. So I'm gonna have to know kind of my general location. So what I do is I know that I'm not out here somewhere, because that's off this this wildlife area. Okay, so I know I'm within this black line border, and I also know that I just came up to this hill, not very far back. So I know I'm right in this area somewhere. So I'm guessing the peak that I need to shoot off of is right about there. Alright, so 30 degrees from that point, draw it back. Alright, now I'm going to shoot to my left. Okay, the heading to the hill on my left is 270 degrees. Once again, I know that I'm within this black area. Also know that I have just passed this point, or what looks like that point, on my map. This steep cliff wall, I just went past that not too long ago. So I'm guessing I'm shooting my azimuth somewhere in this area right here. Okay, 270 degrees off that point. You can see how rough and how much of a guesstimating this is. It's not ideal at all. Okay, so by my triangulation, I shot off of the left hill and the right hill. I come to a point right about here. Okay, now I know that's not accurate because I'm not on a hillside right now. I'm down in the valley. So that tells me that I'm likely down in this part right here, which actually I think is off a little bit. Reason being is you kind of have to use common sense and use other features besides just hills. This creek that runs through here, I just crossed it, and I'm sure you can't see it on this map or on this video, but anyway, I crossed this creek twice. This creek winds in an S pattern right here. I just crossed it twice, so I know that likely I am right in this S pattern and just crossed over it. So likely I'm right about here. Now, there's a lot of likelies in there, right? Yeah, there is. If you're not, keeping an eye on your map and your compass, you're gonna get off course. You're gonna have to get up to a high point and have really definite terrain association, something that you can definitely place on this map that you can see in front of you. Buildings of course are the best, but you're not going to have that out in the woods more than likely. You're going to want to have distinct hills, cliff faces. You're going to want to use everything around you that is a permanent marker. Okay, navigating around objects. This is something that you'll have to do more than likely. I didn't have to do it on that last walk because I just deadheaded straight to point B because I was hot and lazy. So anyway, there will be times though that you have to navigate around certain things. You can't just bust through it. The first thing you do whenever you come to that point where you're going to have to deviate from your heading, first thing you do is of course orient your map. It's the first thing you do anytime you stop. So you've got your map oriented, you've taken your pace count, you've kept track, you're pretty positive of your location. This is you. This is your destination. Subject is in the way of you getting to your destination. You have to navigate around it. Your original heading is, let's say, 80 degrees. You cannot see your destination from this point right here. First thing you need to do, shoot an azimuth in the direction that you intend to go around the object. March in that direction, keeping track of your pace count. Alright, let's say you get around the object at 70 paces. Next thing I'll do is shoot an azimuth at 80 degrees to put you back in the direction of point B. You walk until you get around the object. Then you shoot an azimuth the opposite direction here, a back azimuth from that first turn you made. And you walk 70 paces. This will work out fine if the terrain is equal on both of these legs. If it's not, your pace count might be a little off, so you might have to factor that in. Okay, if you walk 70 paces back in this direction, you should be pretty much exactly where you left off when you first went around this object. So you shoot your new azimuth, 80 degrees, and head on back to your destination at B. Now of course you have to remember that you're going to need to be deadheading on this 80 degrees right here, this leg. You got to hit that exactly right. You got to watch what you're doing and stay on that 80 degree azimuth, that bearing. So if you don't, if you shoot a little bit to the left, you get off a couple degrees, get out here, then you try to walk back 70 paces, you're going to come up short. That's going to throw you off at your final destination point. Make sense? Okay, now whenever you get out there and you're dead reckoning, you're navigating by compass and map only. If you're like me, and you're like most of the people I know, there's going to be a point where you're going to second guess what you're doing. You have to rely on your compass. You have to trust it. You're going to want to second guess it. It happens. You might even get a little panicky whenever you get out there in the middle of nowhere. You can't see anything but trees. You might get a little panicky. Trust your bearing. Trust that you're doing what you need to do. You're paying attention. You're taking your pace counts, and you're keeping on your bearings. It will get you where you want to go. It's just happened to me more than once. I've second guessed, and I've just stuck to my compass, my bearings, and boom, come out where I'm supposed to.